Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He's a professional coach to build wealth and income through options investing. No other than Mr. Fadi Habib.
Hi, Daniel.
Welcome to Book 101, Mr. Fadi. And can you please introduce more about yourself?
Okay, my name is Fadi Habib, and I I worked in corporate Canada for about 25 years. Right now, I'm a part-time professor in some colleges and universities. But my passion was always to try to. I knew that to get some wealth, I need to invest. So since 25 years, I've learned how to invest in real estate. And in the last 10, 15 years, I went into stocks and options, and I did very well. And right now I'm coaching people. I founded this company called Legacy Wealth Builder Academy. And right now I'm coaching people on how to invest responsibly in stocks and options.
Mr. Fadi Habib, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. What's your fundamental belief about why option strategies are powerful tool for professionals like doctors, lawyers, engineers seeking to build wealth and generate income beyond just traditional buy and hold?
Okay, so it starts with the topic of investing. Being an employee will never really get you to amass any kind of wealth. So I had to learn investing. Investing mainly, it's mainly three things: stocks, real estate, and owning a business. So I started with real estate, and at some point of time, I thought that anyone who invests in stocks and options is a gambler. It's not really a responsible person. Till I was proven wrong. There is a method to invest correctly in stocks and real estate, and uh, a lot of people are using the stock market as a casino. That's why a lot of people lose money. The reason I had this thought that anybody investing in the stock market is a gambler because everybody was losing money around me. Um, Reality is there is a method, and if people understand that they are buying businesses, not lottery tickets, the whole methodology will be different. We need to find good businesses to buy and acquire. Options provide a lot of leverage and provide a lot of elevated ROI without a lot of added risk. Options has about something like 30, 40 strategies. If you don't know what you're doing with options, you will lose a lot of money because it's not something that you can just dabble with. You have to really understand it very well, and before you jump in and go into doing options. It provides higher ROI with less money. So it has a lot of advantages if done correctly. It has to be done correctly. That's why in my coaching program, I have a 12-week coaching program, and what I tell people, my students, is that they should never put money into investing in options before they try it in something called a paper trading account. A paper trading account is you can open it for free, and basically they give you $1 million monopoly money. It's just as simulated trading. So you try whatever strategy that anybody taught you, whether you learned it from YouTube or you learned it from me, and then only when you prove to yourself that you can make money and you will not lose money with it, you can start by putting money into your own account. But responsible investing is very important. I have no appetite to lose money, and same as Warren Buffett told us, the first rule of investing is don't lose money. So you need to know what you're doing, and you need basically to protect your capital. You need to be risk averse.
Yes, people. Invest like Warren Buffett, as they said. What specific financial challenges or goals do professionals face that make option strategies particularly well suited for them compared to other investment vehicles?
So a lot of people who come to me, they didn't even invest in stocks. So I start by teaching them some of the myth about the stock market that they need to. adjust their. There has to be a paradigm shift. They need to adjust the way they think about the market. The first thing is that you can go into the stock market today and make lots of money tomorrow. It's not a get rich quick scheme. So if somebody has this mentality that they can go and just buy anything and tomorrow it will go up, they will lose money a lot. Warren Buffett didn't do any of that. They buy something and they wait for 40 years. Of course, we don't do that because we don't have 40 years to invest. But uh, the basic premise is very simple. You're buying businesses. If you're gonna go and buy a business, you need to ask a lot of questions about it. Are they making money or not? Are they good business? If you're buying a house or a real estate to buy and hold, you need to be asking what is the rent, what are the expenses, is it cash flowing? Same thing with the stock market. You can't just buy something because your friend told you to buy it. You need to look at the fundamentals of the company, which means are they making money? Do they have a lot of debt? Do they have strong balance sheet? And so that's the first myth. The second myth is that day trading can make you a lot of money. It's completely false. Day trading needs a lot of time, lots of skills, and most people in day trading lose money, the vast
Yes.
majority. And if somebody's sharing with you that they made a lot of money with day trading, just ask them how many accounts they blew up. So there's no get rich quick scheme with the stock market. Third is that you need to be adopting a long-term view, long-term investment. If you go today, the probability of you losing money if you leave your money in the stock market for a day versus a year versus 10 years, the longer you leave the money, the less probability you will lose any money. So I think if you left it for more than 15 years, there's zero probability you're going to lose money because the stock market goes up and up and up. For the last 100 years, it went up 10% compounded. That's a lot of wealth. And that's if you just buy an ETF called SPY, which is like the biggest 500 companies in the market. So lots of paradigm things that we need to fix. Another one as well is that the market has to go up all the time. The behavior of the market is that it goes up and then it goes down a little bit. It's like breathing, inhaling, exhaling. It out of every 4 years, three usually are up, one is down. But the overall is that the market is going up by 11% a year. So lots of money to be made. And there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with the market making a correction or going down a little bit. The expectation that a stock will go up all the time never happens. There's all the really good stocks, the really strong ones, Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, they go up and sometimes they go down. And another thing that is very important is that the price of the stock has nothing to do with the value of the stock. So a company can be a really good company with strong fundamentals, doing very well, but the price of the stock is going down. The price has nothing to do with the value. We want to buy stocks, good stocks with good value, and we wait when the market goes down to buy them because of this discrepancy between the price and the value in the short term, it provides a lot of opportunity if you know what you're doing, if you know what is the good stock, if you know what is the really intrinsic value, what is the right value of the stock, you know when it's expensive or cheap. A lot of people don't know any of that and just go and buy something that they don't know anything about. A lot of people like companies that are losing money. If a company, the company in the long term, the price of it mimics the earnings. If they have good earnings, if they're making a lot of profit, this means by in the long term, the price has to go up, same as the earnings going up. In the short term, anything can happen, but in the long term, it has to go up. So knowing what is a good stock is imperative in investing. Otherwise, if you don't know that, then you're gambling.
Indeed, people, it fluctuate in everything. Mr. Fadi, rewire, build, execute. Can you tell us about the complete blueprint to building lasting wealth?
Okay, so I developed this system called growth. G starts with goal setting. So first thing you need to know is adjust your goal. If your goal, let's say, if you're going from city A to city B, and if you're going with the speed limit, it should take you 6 hours. If your goal to reach the city, the other city, in 2 hours, if that is your goal, you will be, what you will do, what you will end up doing is that you will have to drive insanely fast to get to the other city in 2 hours. The wrong goal will make you do stuff that is very risky. Same as an investment. If you think you can double your money in a month or a year, that's very unrealistic. And if this is your goal, you will end up uh, going to very risky investments that will basically end up you losing your money. So the goal for me is very simple. It should be about 24%. If the market is doing 11%, we need to beat the market. 24% is really good with the proper risk mitigation. Okay, so that's the first thing is reset your goal should not be more than 24% a year. Second is researching stocks, understanding how to figure out if a stock is good or bad. That's very important. And understanding if the stock is cheap or expensive. And it has nothing to do with the price. So the second module or the second pillar is understanding stocks. Third is you really need to understand options. Options is very new to a lot of people, and you need to make sure that you understand the theory as well as how to implement it. The fourth pillar is if you know all the theory, you still will not succeed because there's no way you can learn how to drive a car by just watching YouTube videos or reading a book. You have to go into the field and start driving a car. So the fourth pillar is implementing. So basically, and the safe way to implement is to implement it in a paper trading account whereby if you made money, it's not your money, and if you lose money, you're not gonna lose anything. It's monopoly money, as I told you. You need to spend at least 3 months in paper trading account, trying out the strategies that you learned and making mistakes. And in the mentorship program, we go through rigorous training for about 12 weeks, whereby at the end of the by week 10 or so, people are so comfortable. So implementing is very important. The next is psychology. Psychology is very important. The main enemy of the person in investing and trading is really the person themselves. You can teach the two people exactly the same course. They know exactly what they need to do, but one person will do very well, the other will not because of the psychology. If somebody is so greedy or they have a gambling mentality, you can teach them everything. Like they can do whatever they want. Like they can spend a lot of time with the material, but if they gravitate to take risky investment, even they know the risk. So psychology is very important. That you always have to be level-headed. The main pillar here is that it is more important to preserve your money than to make money. There's a lot of people who think it's a get rich quick scheme, and there's a lot of advertising outside based on that. But the responsible way of doing it is if you spend 1 hour trying to figure out how to make money with a strategy, the strategy is only 10%. 30% of the game is risk mitigation, how not to lose money. Very important that you do not lose any of your money. Um, it's like driving a car. It's so easy for anybody to just push the gas pedal. It doesn't need a lot to make the car move. The whole game about driving a car is not to be involved in an accident. That's the whole game. So the problem is most of majority of people, they just focus on learning strategies to make money without spending any time understanding the risk mitigation, making sure that you study how other people lost money in same situation so that you don't lose money. And the stock market is a very great way to move money from the impatient to the patient. For people who don't know, if you approach it as a casino, it will treat you as a casino and it will take your money. So you really need to know what you're doing, and it's a great opportunity to make a lot of money if you're patient and if you know what you're doing.
Mr. Fadi, as a coach for building wealth and income through options investing, what are your short term and long term goals?
What is the what?
Short term and long term goals.
So the short-term goals. Okay, so okay, I'll tell you personally and the business. The personally short-term goals, I want to get more students and teach more students. I want to reach 100 students in the program. It gives me a lot of joy seeing people freed from the rat race, getting financial freedom. Because part of that is when you get financial freedom, it opens up to you 11 types of freedom, like freedom of time, freedom of location. People do a lot of things with financial freedom. Um, the long term goal. with a business is that I want to be able to get the top students and get them to be coaches with me, so that we spread the word more. On a personal level, I think long term would be to I'm almost retired because I don't have a full time job. I'm a part time professor and I do the coaching all the time. And what I really love about the way I created I structured my life is that I can travel everywhere. Like last year, I went to 2 months to Egypt, for example, and to Morocco and Spain. And all this time I was coaching because I structured all my life to be on Zoom. So it's really great when you can do whatever you need to do in terms of coaching or teaching students, as well as traveling at the same time. The time freedom for me is tremendously important, and the fact that I can go anywhere in the world and still be able to contribute to my students and to what I want to do is really freeing.
Priceless, people, priceless. So, good luck to your goals, Mr. Fadi, and looking forward for more success. And
Thank
what
you.
would be your piece of advice for those people out there who want to build their wealth?
So, piece of advice number one is that please do not be content with just being an employee. It does not matter how much money you're making. You have to start investing. Small or big, it doesn't matter, but you have to start investing because investing is the way to go. Second is that please resist any get rich quick schemes. Investing can be very slow sometimes, and but it should not be risky. Do not go for risky investments because risk and ROI goes hand in hand. So if you seek something that has a lot of ROI, somebody told you, if you do this, if you put your money in this stock, it will double in 2 months. I want you to understand, if anybody is telling you a lot of ROI, it just means there is a lot of risk that he's not sharing with you. It's like somebody telling you, if you put $5 in a lottery ticket, you will gain $5 million. Okay, great. The ROI is $5 million. That's too much. But what is the risk? The risk is you are guaranteed to lose the $5 because most people will lose money in the lottery ticket. It's like, so the higher the ROI, the higher the risk. That's why you should not be seeking any ROI more than 24%. And whatever methods you want to get to the 24%, you have to really understand risk mitigation, making sure that you don't lose money. Very important. Don't gamble with your money. Investing is not gambling at all. And if you can't sleep at night with whatever you're doing, it just means you're gambling. For me, what I'm doing, I sleep at night like a baby. I have no worry about my money, and this doesn't mean that the market doesn't go up and down. The market goes down, but if I'm buying good stocks, I don't care because I know on the long term it's going to go up. And when the market goes up, everybody else around me is panicky. I am happy because if I know what is a good stock and if I know that the stock is cheap, now is the time to buy, not to panic. So if you understand, if you learn, if you get the proper education, you can make a lot of money and as well be calm and pleasantly happy with the whole process.
Thank you for your advice, Mr. Fadi. And what does the typical learning path look like in your coaching program?
So it's a 12-week program, and basically the we meet about 2 hours every week. Sometimes it goes to three because we don't close the call except when all the questions happen. So it's basically the first hour is a little bit of theory, and then people ask some questions, and then we go and we implement. So I make everybody share their screen because we trade on our cell phones, and it's a paper trading account, so it's safe. There's nothing confidential about it. So everybody share their screen, and every week there is homework. You have to do three trades a day, regardless if you think you know what you're doing or not. If you make a mistake or not, doesn't matter because it's paper trading account. So everybody share their screen, and I ask them questions to understand if they understand or not. And the way I teach is that by asking questions. So I don't tell you the answer. If I'm teaching you math, and I'll say it once, and then I ask you what is three plus four. I'm not going to tell you it's seven right away. I'm going to leave you with it to be uncomfortable with it a little bit. If you can't answer today or next week, then in the third week you will be able to answer. And by doing this, it anchors in your brain. Again, I'm an educator, I'm a professor, so I know how to um, get people to get to the learning curve quickly. So everybody shares their screen, and when I ask somebody some questions, everybody else is learning, and then I tell them, listen, I think there's something wrong here with this trait. Do you know what it is? And everybody's thinking. And so it's a great group. The groups are very small, great group learning activity. And people spend 10 weeks at least in paper trading, and then when they are ready, they put some money if they want into their live account, and they start trading for real. And I usually with them the first few trades, real trades, and then they graduate, and a lot of them are very happy.
Congratulations, Mr. Fadi, for sharing your knowledge to the world.
Thank you.
And can you recommend a book that influenced your journey?
The book that it started my whole journey is called Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. Cash Flow Quadrant. It's a nice read. It's not a fiction book. It's an educative book, and it tells you that there are four different ways to make money. It's a quadrant, so four. E is for employee, S for self-employed, B for business owner, and I for investor. So four different ways. We're all pushed to be an employee. That's all the education system in the world pushes you to be. But he also explains to you that E is the worst deal of all. You get taxed before you get your money. You're spending your time and effort to make money for other people. The self-employed is like a pharmacist in his own pharmacy, doctor in his own clinic, carpenter in his own shop, painter in his own paint shop. They're still swapping time for money, but they have a little bit of freedom. Business owner, uses other people's time to make money. So business owner will have a company that has 50 or 100 people. He's using other people's time to make money. The investor is using other people's time and money to make money for themselves. Like for example, when we buy an Apple stock, we don't go to work for Apple every day, but I'm reaping the benefits of Apple working really well and being a good business, and the stock will go up. So the book is called Cash Flow Quadrant, Robert Kiyosaki.
Cash flow, people, cash flow, highly recommended by Mr. Fadi. Before we wrap up our discussion for today, Mr. Fadi, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, my other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and of course, my book 101 review in fifth season, comedy 101 in second season, and food 101 in its fifth season too, geography 101 in its fourth season, and my Law 101 and Mental Health 101 is my baby podcast. Love Letters in fourth season, Movie 101 Review and Music 101 in fourth season 2, and Science 101 and Sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. Mr. Fadi, can you share a brief story or example for a professional client who significantly improved their financial situations?
So I have a lot of clients, and the ages are very different. Some of them never really invested, and some one of my clients, some of them are like some of them are like near retirement. Some of them are really still working. One of my students is a fund manager, and before he actually finished the 12 week. Usually people start live trading after the 12 week, but before he finished the 12 week, he did a couple of transactions and gained about $10,200. So that was really nice. Um, Basically, the success here is not how much money, because it depends on the capital that you're working. If somebody has $2 million to invest, is not like somebody who has only 10,000 or somebody has 1,000. So the idea is not how much money you made. Is the idea is that you're making above average return. The average return is 11%. If you're making more than that, we're usually making 24, my students. So that's really good. And 24% makes you double your money in 3 years. That's not really difficult at all. To double your money in 3 years, that's beautiful. So let's say if you have, I don't know, $1,000, or let's say you have $10,000 or $100,000. If you have $100,000, it's going to be 200 in 3 years. and there's going to be 400 in another 3 years. And compounding takes effect, and that's why Warren Buffett is a multi billionaire, because of the power of compounding.
Yes, people, the power of compounding. If you want to invest now, the time to invest. So, Mr. Fadi Habib, again, thank you so much for
Thank you very
sharing
much.
your
Thank you very much, Daniel.
wisdom and knowledge to the world. And people, meet our mentor, Mr. Fadi Habib. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your business itself?
Okay, so if you want to check me out, I have a, website, Legacy Wealth Builder Academy. You can find me on LinkedIn, Fadi Habib, FadiHabib. And again, I'm there on all the socials, Facebook, and you can just email me, info@legacywealthbuilderacademy.com.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Fadi Habib because if you support him, more and more and more empowering coaching to come. So, Mr. Fadi, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you.
More to come, people. See you soon.